Shalom. All praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashim Al-Shai Ba'ashim Kahak. Another transit lesson. Just touching on how, people in this society are panicking. Let's just get into it.
Because I don't know how much longer people can go like this. Thank God I've got a pretty good job where I can afford groceries, but I know there are people struggling right now, and it's awful. And things need to get lower, or this whole economy is just going to be bad. And I wanted to add to...
Okay, so she talked about the economy and how it's just going to be bad. Well, the economy is pretty much like the table. It's what's holding everything together. And the economists are known as the keepers of the house. Okay? So the economy is pretty much the blood system of this country. Without it being in a good working fashion, the whole society will collapse. But the reason why everybody's struggling is because nobody's being paid adequately for the labor that they're doing. Everybody's being ripped off by these bankers. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. The point is, they don't care about you people. They got AI, they got robots. They don't care about you people having jobs or you people being able to afford anything. They want everybody to not be able to afford nothing. All right? And be happy with having nothing. That's because the wicked is in rulership. So the keepers of the house are the economists, and they're seeing the cost of goods going up, the cost of prices going up, gas. Everybody's in debt, credit debt, student loan debt, car debt, mortgage debt, house debt. All right, and they're trembling because they know that this shit is gonna crash, worse than the Great Depression. Because first you have a recession. You might have stagflation. You might see a little bit of inflation, meaning your money is not worth the same amount. And then you start seeing hyperinflation, where it's like your money ain't worth a damn. And you start burning it. You start using it as toilet paper. All right? That's where the dollar is going. The dollar, especially dealing with that this war over there in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, because that oil is is traded in American dollars. That's why we call it the petrodollar. Once those nations don't deal with America's hegemony to get their oil, this money is going to be worth nothing, because America doesn't have the GDP, meaning nothing is made here. It's all about oil now. They don't create anything like Ford. There's nobody buying Ford. There's nobody buying anything that's American made. The only thing that keeps the American dollar running up and as the world's reserve currency is because in order for the world to trade crude oil, it has to be done in American dollars. And I can go to Google and get the information on that. I asked Google, I said, is crude oil sold in dollars? It says, yes, crude oil is primarily sold and priced in US dollars on the global market. This system, often called petrodollars, means that regardless of where oil is produced, its price is quoted in US dollars. This standard ensures that the US dollar remains the dominant currency for international trading. Exactly what I said. It was established in the 1970s once Richard Nixon changed it from the gold standard. It says it requires nations to exchange their currency for dollars to purchase oil. The global standard, major oil benchmarks like Brent and WTI are traded in US dollars. When the US dollar weakens, oil becomes cheaper for countries using other currencies, often pushing prices up and vice versa. And that's why they put sanctions on Iran, because they don't deal in dollars. They don't have a central bank over there. They're not under that American hegemony. As a matter of fact, let's ask them that. No, Iran does not use US dollars for its oil deals. Since 2007 and 2008, Iran has systematically eliminated the US dollar from its oil transactions and to bypass American sanctions and financial restrictions. Instead of the greenback, Iran utilizes a variety of alternative currencies and bartering systems to conduct the international energy trade. Alright, so everything that I'm saying is facts. Iran's de-dollarization strategy relies on three main alternatives. The petro-yuan, Chinese yuan. China is Iran's largest oil buyer, purchasing roughly 90% of its exports. Alright, euro and yen settlements to Europe and parts of Asia. Iran has historically demanded payment in euros and Japanese yen to avoid US banking channels like SWIFT. Alright, so they go around those central banks. Point blank period. So now these people are panicking because the financial institution is set up through the petrodollar, which makes the American currency valuable as the world reserves currency. That system is starting to fall apart because the Strait of Hormuz is shut down. Alright, which means the oil price is going to go up. Alright, the dollar is going to be worth less. And it's going to lead them right into that digital banking system called the market of beasts, and it's going to be insurrection and all these different things. When you go to the store, you're not going to be able to buy nothing. Alright, ain't going to be nothing in the stores. Everything's going to be shut down. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And this is what sparked me to do this lesson, because that woman was pretty much saying, I have a good job, so it's not really hitting me, but I know it's expensive for other people and all of this. So pretty much they're saying that because they're good, they got money and they can still buy shit, they're gonna think that they're good, and that's not true. Okay, this whole system is getting ready to collapse. As a matter of fact, this is Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. That's right. So this whole society, the stock market, everything, the global market is going to crash. All right, because everything is built up on this delicate dollar, not gold, not silver, just this dollar. Now it's not even the gold. These dollars are not worth a damn thing. Their worth is based upon the world dealing in USD through the oil. Once that system breaks down, all right, this whole shit is not going to be worth anything. All right, it's going to be a crash. And what they want to do is the Great Reset. They want to reset the economic system that we're under right now, and to set up this whole new system, which is based upon digital currencies and obviously the market of beasts. All right. It says, "Howl ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off." So it's not gonna matter if you got a Cuban link or a Benz or none of that, because all of the money that you're making in American dollars, whether you have millions or whatever, it's not gonna matter, because they're gonna change the currency over. All right, they're gonna shut down this whole system. As a matter of fact, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 40. It says, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." All right, and that's why you're not really supposed to be getting so settled in here. You got people buying houses, buying land, you know, setting up themselves to pass down generational wealth, when the scripture tells you in Micah 2 and 10 that this is not your rest. All right, it's polluted, it shall destroy you with a sword of destruction. The Lord did not set us up in America to be set up. All right, it was a place of our captivity for our judgment. And now the Lord is getting ready to bring this place down, all right, and set up the kingdom of heaven, because this place fulfilled its wickedness upon the earth. All right, it's reaching up to the skies, and the Lord sees it, and the Lord is getting ready to destroy it. It says, verse 41, "He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. So everybody that's like invested in this economy, that's invested in having a business, a job, or whatever the case may be, all of that shit is for naught, because this whole shit is getting ready to collapse. All right, the scripture says there shall be no work for Egypt. Okay, meaning the job market is going to get shut down. It's going to be unemployment everywhere. Everybody's going to lose their jobs. All these businesses are going to be shut down, and the whole market, all right, is getting ready to get cut off, because the Edomites, the bankers, they want to set up a whole new system. All right. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. That's right. So this devil is running out of time as far as rulership goes. His whole rulership is falling apart at the seams. All right. The power that he had in the earth, all right, that shit is weakening. And these other nations that he had under subjection, they're saying that they're strong and they're not scared of him. So what is he going to do? While he's going down, he's going to try to take everyone down with him. All right. And set up this, like I said, he's going to set up this digital banking system. All right. Where he'll be able to, control the whole earth, or to control all of the inhabitants of the earth. But he's not going to succeed in that. Okay. He's going to fail miserably, because everybody is going to basically, a lot of people are going to bow down to the system. All right. But basically, while he's setting up this new world order, he's going to be in straits, meaning here come the nuclear missiles. All right. Now, when the society breaks down financially, economically, then the Lord is going to send those plagues of famine through here. All right, and it talks about how pretty much people will be running in each other's houses for the lack of bread. As a matter of fact, let's go grab that. Because, like I said, it's going to be insurrection. All right. Once people are not able to feed their families, they will hit the streets and be out here protesting their government. All right. Just like any other kingdom that falls apart. This is 2 Esdras chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and to them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So it's going to be a civil war, because you have the government that's going to make everything mad expensive for the people and unbearable for them to live here, and they're pretty much going to go at it with each other. Then the government is going to send out their troops or their military forces, and it's going to be martial law. All right, and America is going to be split up into 10 FEMA zones, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and that's where they'll have these concentration camps. All right, just like what Hitler did or whatever. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Who's the kings? That's these presidents, senators, mayors, governors. Nobody's going to give a fuck about none of that. It's going to be anarchy. Okay, so once the food and the economic system breaks down, people tend to not give a fuck anymore, because now everybody's pushed to desperation. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. And that's when everybody gonna start purging. Okay? It's gonna be the purge. Everybody gonna be trying to kill each other for a piece of water, for a piece of bread, for a little bit of water, for a little bit of drink. And that's why I was saying about these women that's out here trying to be free, all right, not under a man. They're gonna be traded in part of the bartering system of goods, because women are a commodity. They're not no strong women. They're a possession, a man's possession. Okay, and they'll be used in the bartering system. That's why it says that women are they're gonna get it the worst. When you read down in this chapter 16, it says that they're gonna mourn not having husbands, mourn not having bridegrooms. Okay, So this is going into that martial law. And that's why we tell our people, you Israelites out there, not to trust in this devil, not to trust in Egypt, not to trust in the system, not to lean upon this system for its financial stability or for its peaceful appearance. All right, you might think that it's peace out here, but it's going to break forth, and this place is going to be destroyed. The economic system is falling apart. The roads, the infrastructure is falling apart. The morals of the people, as far as like going to the club, the interaction between men and women is stale as ever. All right. Everything about this place is showing signs that we're at the end of it. This is Luke 21:19. In your patience possess ye your souls. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Okay? Because like I said, the troops is going to take over the streets. And it's ordo ab chaos. Order out of chaos. They have to create a chaotic environment here in the States so that they can push their new world order. All right? And that's exactly what it says. By peace shall they destroy many. They're going to create a false flag attack or some type of instability in the country, and then bring about the military in the the new world order as the solution. All right. It says, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all these things which are written may be fulfilled. Okay? But woe unto you that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. So it's not going to be a time of you having little children and taking them to the park. It's going to be war. Okay? Children going to be getting put to death. You have mothers that's just going to leave their children running away from the danger. Okay? It says that they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down to the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And that's happening right now. All right, you got the Israelis, the Israelites in our land, heathens, Edomites. Now, when all of this stuff happens again, because this happened in the past, it says that the people are going to be perplexed. All right, meaning they're gonna be confused. They're gonna be bugging the hell out, like, oh my fucking God, I can't believe this shit happened. But meanwhile, the Lord has sent His prophets out here to tell the people these things, that these things were coming way before these epic economists and people making these videos about the economy. The prophets were out there telling the people about this. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. Right? On Easter, it was a pink moon. So there's signs in the moon and in the sun. And in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring. The earth is not in a state of peace right now. You got wars in the Middle East. You got ceasefires. You got oil prices going up. All these things are happening just the way that the Lord said, man. The earth is a distress of nations with perplexity. All right? Shit is about to hit the fucking fan. It says, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. That's how we know Yahweh Shai is getting ready to pull up. All right, because shit is really heating up right now. All right.
Night supper, that's just feeding a family of 3. So, yeah, over $40. Crazy.
Okay, I know I'm old, and there's lots of signs that I'm old, but I literally today was that lady at the grocery store where they rung something up. I couldn't believe how expensive it was, and I told her, I'm not buying that. You guys can put it back.
And that's you Edomites living in lavish luxury for too long. That's why the scripture says that this is the rejoicing city that dwells carelessly. All right, they've never been considering that it will come upon them. As a matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 47. All right, because these Edomites, they think that they can sneak out and not get judged. The Lord is bringing you Edomites down, especially the fucking white woman, the Edomite women that's been living deliciously with your women's liberation, and the society is predicated for these women. They're the ones complaining about prices and shit, not men. Okay, let's see, where is it at? This is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. That's right, you're going to be judged out of, it's like it's out of nowhere. That's why they're complaining about, like, damn, it was never like this. Yeah, that's because the Lord is putting the finishing touches on this fucking place. Anyways, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash. Shalom.